Yeah, so I know all about fake friends. I've got this guy, and I mean, he pretty much just like hangs out with me for my game systems. So yeah, like pray for that. Welcome to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. Rated R.
You have some criminal charges, bro. Guess like we're avoiding the shark.
Yo, great turbo neck guy.
I'll give you a kiss. You give me your number.
That checked out a ton, dude. Tell me you felt.
We're Americans. We're the ones that are descendants from the 1776 musket-bearing motherfuckers.
Welcome back to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. This is episode number 16. In this episode, we talk about a movie trunk sneaker, an alleyway hospital bed, and the addictive nature of game systems. Let's dive in.
Yeah, this is another Warped Tour story. It was just a really fun, obscure kind of memory where basically I'm at Warped Tour. I believe this was 2017, right? We're at the show. We're watching Neck Deep playing. And then they stop the show and he goes,
"Hey, I see you. You're touching her boobs."
They stop the whole show.
Mid-song,
they
my
stop.
gosh.
And he's like,
stop touching her.
right?
That's right.
Do you actually remember this?
Yes. Really? And he starts way calling him out.
Everyone starts being like, boo, boo, right? I cannot see this kid. I don't know what's going on. But then as time goes on, we start seeing the crowd parting. It's like the Red Sea. We see this kid walking out, crying, getting punched by people as he walks out. His bloody nose. Everyone's like, F you.
Yeah, because the lead singer was like,
Get out of here right now. We don't accept that type of stuff at our shows.
Wow.
Alex,
Yes.
movie trunk sneaker.
Yeah. So, in the wake of the craziness that was COVID-19, the only theaters that were open were drive-in movie theaters. But at the same time, I mean, it's a really cool way to watch a movie. I mean,
Yeah,
like
and
you
I've
pull
never
up
been
with
to
your
a
car.
drive-in either, which is
Right.
so sick. I was itching for the opportunity to go check one out.
So it was the scarcity of being able to go to the movies and also Spencer's enthusiasm for the drive-in experience that he had never had. And he said, well, we got to take this all the way. Like, we have to like have the full drive-in experience and only pay for one ticket.
Because they were going to try to charge for each person in the car.
Before we get there, we decide, all right, so Spencer is going to have to go in the trunk. It's not a super busy street. There are a few cars going by. So we're like, all right, now, okay, cool. So we like rush out of the car and we open the trunk and we're like, all right, dive, get in. And
dive.
I'm like, all right, you good? And he's like all scrunched up in the back, you know? I mean, Spencer's like not a tiny guy.
And I have the subwoofer. I had just gotten the subwoofer,
Right.
so that takes up half my trunk.
So there are
you're
basically
fine.
two people in the trunk at this point. Spencer and the subwoofer. His
Right.
subwoofer is humongous if you've never seen it. Ladies, take note. And so I close the trunk. I'm the one who's going to have to drive this Trojan horse.
did you start blasting music with like hella bass and crank that subwoofer up as it subwoofs in his ear?
That would have been the best choice. So we're starting to go into the drive-in, and there are just like all these cars in like one or two lanes for some reason. And there are like six. I'm like, I'm going to go to the one where there's just like one or two cars.
Yeah.
So I go over, but little did I know that's also where all the security guards are hanging out with their dogs.
the canine
Dogs.
unit. They have
With
the canine
their
unit,
dogs.
dude.
What the heck?
And so-
M16s.
I'm like pretty freaked out. Those dogs are kind of starting to bark a little bit. I think they're sniffing out something. And I'm like the next car, so I'm like, I got to keep it cool. Like, I'm going to be chill.
And I'm like,
crank up.
Alex, what's happening? You're like, shut up.
And so, I come up and I'm like, one for the movie.
One ticket. The dogs start sniffing and barking at the trunk.
And the chains like snap. Just like these dogs are starting to like foam like at the mouth a little bit. They're feral. I'm like, geez, if they bite Spencer, like
It's all over.
It's over. But we pull through. And I mean, the dogs like start to kind of like divert their attention to the next car. So I'm like, all right, things are probably going to be okay. Like, we're all right. Take a deep breath. And so we like pull around to like the sketchy far off corner that like no one's ever gonna see. And I just like sneakily like go back to the trunk, pop it open just a little bit. We kind of rehearsed this, and so Spencer came out and acted like he was looking in the trunk for something with me.
And I hop out and I'm like
He's
helping him
I
search
don't know.
for it.
I don't know. You said you brought it, but I don't see it anywhere. And so we're like, whatever. We'll just go to the front and watch this movie, I guess.
All right, let's talk about the Alleyway hospital bed, Tiffany.
Okay, so this takes place because Spencer, at one point,
Luke's already laughing.
Because Spencer's
Trying to picture where this is going.
so Spencer wanted to make a music video for.
Classified.
Yes.
Do you not want to say that?
It didn't happen. So
Okay.
because of COVID.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I,
Just
don't
an
know,
idea.
I don't know that project.
Wanted to. I know.
You had an idea for it. It
It's
was
one
a
of
cool
those
idea.
almost stories. Okay, but in preparation for the music video that almost happened, one of the set pieces that we needed was a medical chair. Like the kind that opens all the way up, like you sit in like the dental office and it's got like the full headrest and everything.
Right.
So that was one of the major set pieces that we needed for the video. And I wasn't in charge of the art team, and so I had to track down one of these chairs. And so I had no idea where I was going to find one of these chairs.
And you couldn't just steal one from a dentist office.
Or that. I couldn't do that. I go on Craigslist and there was a couple options, surprisingly. And I found one that was like dark red and it looked like exactly like what we needed. It was a big medical chair.
with the rolly wheels on it.
We'll get to the features. So the guy who had it listed, his name is Neil, and there was a phone number on there. So I texted the phone number and asked if it was still available. And then I have a printout of the script here. So I'm just going to read kind of the interaction that took place.
No
You have the
details can be left out.
Yeah. So I sent him a message, asked if it was still available. Would you take 65? I can pick it up tomorrow or Saturday. And he says, where are you coming from in Costa Mesa? So I said, well, I live in Orange. And then he said,
You didn't even say you lived in Costa Mesa.
I know, he just assumed. And then he said, what are you going to use it for if it's okay to ask? And I'm like, okay, why does he need to know that? And so, but I just said it's for a movie set.
And why would it be not okay to ask?
Well, typically when you're
Let
selling
torture
something
people
online,
in
you
it.
don't ask somebody, hey, what are you going to use this for?
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's the kind of question that you would ask if you're friendly while they're there getting it. Oh, by the way, like, what are you using it for?
Not
like,
as
that
a
would be kind of
screening
fun.
yeah,
question.
screening,
not
like,
as a
well, then I'm not going to sell
question.
it to you.
Yeah,
Or something.
right.
If you're
Oh,
going to use
no,
it,
not
not
screening.
screening. If you're going to
A
use it
screening
for harm
question.
instead of good, then
I
then no.
actually hate Hollywood, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Anyhow.
And then he says, okay, tomorrow before noon would be best. It's real for a hospital in Anaheim. Okay, great. Would you take 65? And he responds back, I really want 75, but could you get to Costa Mesa by noon tomorrow? If you can do then, I can reduce to 65. Only if I come before noon, then he can reduce it to 65. And then he proceeds to tell me, it's pretty cool. It lowers to completely flat and back up to any chair tilt controlled by a cable brake handle.
Whoa. We were really looking for that mechanism.
Okay, so then I thanked him and said, what is the address? I can pick it up. My name is Tiffany. And then he texts back, will that work? Call me now in all caps if you want it. And I'm like, I'm not going to call this guy. So I just said, okay, yes, that works. I'll message tomorrow when I'm on my way. And then he responds, okay, Tiffany with all eyes. Like that's
Wait,
not
all eyes.
like TIFFINI. Tiffany. So fast forward to the next day, I message him and said, I'm on my way. Can I get the address? And he doesn't respond. So I keep driving and I'm like, okay, it's almost 11:30. He knows I'm coming. Then I decided to call. Okay, hi, this is Tiffany. I'm coming to pick up. And he goes, hello? Hello? And I'm like, oh, hi. And then I just repeat myself. I'm like, I'm coming to pick up the chair. And then he goes, you're going to pick it up? You're going to lift it up over your head now, are you?
This guy is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Okay. It gets better. He's like, you're going to lift it up, pick it up over your head. I'm like, we don't know each other to be joking around like this. I'm like, okay, what's the address? And he says it to me super slow, drawn out. He's like 297
Classified.
Street. And then he goes, okay, so that's the address, but don't hang up, because when you get to that address, you're not going to go to that house. You're going to turn around. You're going to see a back alley, and you're going to go down the alley. And then at the end of the alley, you'll see a big white van with a black ladder strapped on top of it. When you see the van, go behind it, and then I'll be waiting there with the chair.
What the heck? He's like, this hasn't been creepy enough up to now.
Yeah.
Meet me by my van.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm already in the car. So I'm like a couple minutes away. And I'm by myself thinking, okay, I don't have pepper spray. I'm like, okay, jeez. Trying to remember the karate moves that my dad taught me. Okay.
911 on speed dial.
Oh, man.
So then I get to the address, drive down the alley, and then I see this like really tall guy that comes out, and he's like wearing like a wife beater white tank, and he
Good sign.
yeah. I start to roll down my window to say, hey, I'm here for the chair. And then he starts like waving me like back, and he says, no, you got to back up and get closer, because people are going to start tearing through here. Like,
It's going to be a bloodbath.
yeah.
Plus, I have to kidnap you, so it wouldn't work any other way.
So I'm like, okay, be super aware of my surroundings. Okay, so then, yeah, so I pull up, the car's open, and then I just want to get this chair as quick as I can and get out of here. And the guy starts going, okay, now come over here. Let me like show you all the features of this chair. And he starts lifting all the levers and showing me the wheels and how it all works. Okay, that's great. So 65, can I just get the chair and
Get this
get
over
out of
with.
here? And he goes, hold on, it's got a screw loose here. Do you want me to fix it for you? I'll take it as is. And he goes, well, I've got some tools here. I can just fix the arm for you because it's a little wobbly.
Yo, why didn't you already do that?
Right.
Well, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to prolong this any longer. So then
Right.
I
Yeah.
said, no, it's okay. I'll just take
keep
it
it
as
moving.
is. So then he helps me get it into the car. And I paid him and made it out of there with my life. And that
And
is
the chair.
and the chair.
Your life and the chair, miraculously.
And where did the chair end up, Alex?
At my wife's parents' house.
Is it a dope chair? I'm picturing it the whole time.
Oh,
I'm like,
wait,
it
forgot
sounds
another-
really cool.
I forgot another thing that he said.
Oh, yeah, go
He
for
goes,
it.
I'm kind of sad to be getting rid of this because it's actually a really comfortable bed to lay in.
What?
Like he's used it before.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to disinfect this.
Wow.
But he parted with it.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Let's talk about the game system, Luke.
Okay, cool. Game systems. So we went to an interesting high school. All three of us, really. Spencer and Tiffany. We all went to Forest Lake.
Yep.
And it was a Christian high school. And so, we would have prayer time at various times in school. And so I'm in 5th grade.
So you're talking
people
about high school,
use-
and now you talk about 5th grade.
Okay, yeah.
It was a K. It was a 12, bro.
It was a
through
K
12.
through 12. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
All right.
And so
So somewhere in there.
people utilize the prayer time that was meant to be reverent to do other things, So like the teacher would be saying, okay, what kind of prayer requests do we have? And people would find the opportunity to brag or gossip or whatever, And so like some people would say like, and be like, yeah, my family's like going out to Disneyland. And also I got like $1,000, for Christmas. So just like pray for that.
Pray for like wisdom that'll like use that well.
Yeah.
Not even, though.
They would
just got
just drop
$1,000,
random things that they
just
wanted to
pray for
talk
that.
about during prayer time, because it was your opportunity to speak, And so my buddy,
Haydn.
His name's Hayden.
his name is Haydn.
Hiding what?
So it had come up in conversation about fake friends. And he was piggybacking off of that. And so he volunteered a prayer request that was kind of bogus. He's like, I've got one right over here. Pick me, popcorn. And popcorn prayer.
What a
and
style.
so Haydn is like, yeah, so I know all about fake friends and stuff. Like, I've got this guy, and he pretty much just like hangs out with me for my game systems. So yeah, like pray for that.
That's it.
And yeah, I was like, what? Okay. Yeah, they're like, so hide and pray that he'll not be used
For his
and
game
abused
system.
for his game systems.
Dude, I got one too about some video games. This one's called Video Game Addiction. So we go over to Miguel's house, and this kid is filthy rich. He's so rich that he's got a World of Warcraft membership. Do you know about that, dude? Wow.
Wow.
World of Warcraft.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Wow.
We're at his house, dude. We're at his house. It's like me and a couple other friends, and we're at Miguel's house, and he's showing us World of Warcraft. He goes, dude, check out this game. Look at how sick this game is. And we're all like, whoa, yeah, this is super cool. Can we play? And he goes, step back.
Hands off the controller.
Hands off the controller.
Don't
and he
touch
says,
it.
guys, I need to talk to you about something really serious.
Oh, man.
He goes, dudes, video game addictions are a serious thing. He's like, confession time. He says, I'm straight up addicted to World of Warcraft. I'm addicted to this video game. We're like, okay, well, let us play. And he says, no. I am so addicted to this, and it's horrible. I would not wish this on my worst enemies. So he says, I can't let you play because if I risk you guys playing, you could get an addiction to this, and I care about you too much.
He's just thinking about you.
He's like, he was like, I'm
Obviously.
thinking about you guys. I care about you too much to risk you getting an addiction
So
like I have.
I'm just gonna play.
Yeah.
And you're going to watch. Wow.
Pretty much.
Truly, wow.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor, leave a review. 5 stars is a power play. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Spencer Whiteout. As always, stay tuned, stay hyped. That's a wrap.
Goodbye.
Inserting exclusive audio recording from the vault.
Why you keep like touching me playing footsies? I was trying. Okay. I was okay with it. So we went to.
Because you hate physical touch.
Do you really?
I don't know. You punched me twice because I touched him.
Stop. Yeah, you were. I don't know. I was not wanting to be touched, and I did end up punching you.
Twice. 2 different times. 2 different occasions.
Did you, Tim? Did you hear about me punching John last night?
Pissed.
I know.
That was you? I thought that was the other Spence.
No,
That was you.
heard about it?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah. John told me about that.
He told you? What did he say?
He punched me, dude.
I didn't punch him. I turned and elbowed him in the face on accident.
Why though?
Because somebody was rubbing my shirt, and I thought they were putting more classified on me because people were doing classified all night. Yeah. So I turned, and since he's a foot shorter than me, my elbow just went up right and connected into his nose. And I didn't know, because I just turned and then I hit him in the nose. Were you guys there? Or
Yeah, dude,
John
he came right to me. He's like, Spencer just elbowed me in the face.
Yeah,
I was like, dude.
Yeah, I did. But he was
You're
like,
talking.
F you, asshole, and stuff. And I was like, dude, I didn't know.
John's actually pretty sensitive.
You didn't see it happen?
No, he's like, right after it happened, he's like, dude, Spencer just hit me in the face. And it's like, I'm sure I didn't mean it.
Then you hit. Wait, who hit Lance? Oh yeah, Tony.
But when he hit me, it was very intentional.
No, but yeah, I punched you last year a couple times.
Yep.
It was good.
No.
And that's it.